there's some, interesting stuff around all this, Daryl, which is, the character that gets developed and evolves in continually facing and overcoming adversities, even if they're self-imposed. And I mean, a lot of adversities in business aren't self-imposed. They're just what show up because, and you happen to be at the effect of what's going on in the world and you have to figure shit out. But in your case, and although you had that as well, because everybody does, a lot of the adversity that you faced was self-imposed because you took on more than you could take on. You stepped into a world that you weren't familiar with. You didn't have some of the talents that you thought you had and or needed to do what you said you were going to do. So but the
Came
thing
down
is
to
around
one
all
thing,
of it is
though.
that you overcame them. Sorry, go ahead.
It ended up coming down to one thing with all that you're saying, because if the timing was right, none of that mattered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Idiots can make money in an up market, right? Anybody could buy something, do something on it, and sell it for more in an up market, right? We see that everywhere, right? So, I mean, I was no genius, that's for sure, but like these lessons from getting pummeled and still going. Anyway, sorry, I cut you off there. What were you saying?
Well, no, that's all good. That's an important part of all of this. When we look at in the context of the podcast, is that you get seemingly ordinary achieving extraordinary. You probably look at it and go, well, I haven't achieved that much extraordinary, but really you have. You've done a lot of things just in getting to where you are today and having handled all that you've handled. I'm interested in knowing, though, you talked a little bit about your mom and as a kid, what you were doing. Did you really come out of the chute being entrepreneurial, or were your parents entrepreneurial in some way? Like, where did that entrepreneurial spirit come from, do you think? Or was it literally just, you have no idea, it's just how it was?
I think my spirit came from, like, I wanted a lot of things growing up, and my parents were not in a position to give me everything that I wanted, right? And so what I would hear is, like, if you want it, go and get a job and go work for it. So I did, because that's me. Like, if you challenge me, forget about it. That's it, right? So I was like 13, and I went and I got a job. I told them I was 16. I ended up like the assistant manager at the Colonel's at the local mall here, right? And I worked my butt off because I wanted a new monitor and a graphics card for my computer, and they wouldn't get it for me. So I went and I worked for it, and I was like, oh, well, this isn't so bad. And I just kept working. And then it just turned into stuff. Next thing I know, I'm at this baseball camp working. And that summer, the owners decide to close it down. So my friend says, hey, we were thinking, a few of us, that we were going to start it up again under a different name. Like, do you want to do it? And I said, sure. We can use it for our project. We were in first year university, and I had a full-time job working at like some rental car place, and these guys wanted to start a baseball camp with me. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? And we started a baseball camp. It was crazy. Like, absolutely crazy.
So there's just a part of you that says, I have that entrepreneurial spirit. There's a part of you that wants to lead the way and be part of something bigger. And, that's kind of, I look at entrepreneur and business owners and individuals like you or I, that I ask the question often, is it nature or is it nurture? And actually what I've discovered in now interviewing hundreds of, pretty successful individuals on the podcast, and just knowing the people I know through the Real Estate Investment Network, is that it's just both, and it really is. Sometimes it is nature and sometimes it is nurture, and there is no real answer to it. But it's also interesting to, have these kinds of conversations and listen to the character traits that show up in people. Like, there's a part of you that also had a commitment to at least keeping your word, delivering, or at least trying to deliver on what you said you were going to deliver on. So there's not a part of you that was saying, I'm going to take advantage of somebody to make money and, screw it. You're actually saying to people, listen, you're committing to this, but it's not going to be that. And you need to know about that. Whereas many contractors would go, okay, I'll just pick up the extra money at the end of the job when you've upgraded everything that you said you wouldn't upgrade. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying with that?
Yeah.
There's a part of, go ahead.
And that's the thing, is I guess some people don't take that opportunity when they recognize that they're stuck in something to change it. I mean, if you talk to anybody that knew me intimately, they all thought I was crazy. I mean, the kind of money that I was making, I mean, imagine I had 20 something jobs. Like I had it was crazy. The amount of money that thing was spinning was insane. And I just like shut it down and walked away. I didn't try and sell it or anything. I just wanted to get rid of it, like, and just move on. That's abnormal.